Hi everyone, it's Kerchi. Today I'll be designing a 90s inspired bedroom in Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's gonna be filled with lots of cool stuff, and in the end, we'll do a little room tour. I'm starting off by choosing a nice carpet and wall combo, one that's very realistic from the 90s. And for now, I'm just gonna stick with this plain blue wall. Now I'm choosing a bed, and I also want a bed that's very realistic from that decade. There are some beds here that are too cartoonish because it is Disney, but I did find this plain pink bed and I think it works. Now comes the fun part, which is picking all of the furniture items that I think would fit in the 90s. I am putting lots of pictures on the wall. Walls in the 90s are filled with posters. My sister had a bunch of anime posters. I don't remember having any, but I did have some Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera posters. I just never put them up on my wall. So what I'm doing here is I'm literally picking anything and everything that I find cute that would fit a 90s bedroom. So there's lots of random knickknacks here. 90s bedrooms aren't super neat. In fact, they're very random. They're just filled with tons of cool stuff. We didn't really follow a set aesthetic like you see today. So there's lots of neon, bright items, random mismatched things. These days, I feel like rooms are a little bit too curated, a little too boring, so I'm just laying everything out here. I'm not organizing it just yet. This part is basically to just get a feel for all the items in the game, what fits, what doesn't fit. I am meticulously going through the entire catalog here, so I'm looking through every single item, making sure that I don't miss one item that could potentially fit in this room. And once I have all the items laid out, I'm now starting to organize them. I'm starting with the walls because I feel like that's the easiest part. I envisioned a wall just filled with posters and anything I can find in the game that resembles that. Now I'm starting to build out each portion of the room. So first there's the bed and nightstand area, of course with that super cute phone. Then there's the dressing area where I have a cabinet, a robe, and this full-length mirror. And this is basically my little fashion show area where I can try on different clothes. We all put on a fashion show for our friends. And of course, we gotta have a vanity because every 90s girl had a vanity. Makeup experimentation is huge when you're a teenage girl. Especially back then, we had the craziest makeup that I'm sure wasn't entirely safe for our face. This whole vegan movement didn't happen yet, but it was so fun. Everything was flavored like fruit. Lots of metallic stuff too. And on this corner, I want to make a little office, like a desk study area. So I put down this desk and I'm basically gonna fill it up with books, whatever else I can find. And then I found this vintage looking chair which fit perfectly. It was a time before gaming chairs. So I wanted to use Stitch's TV here because it was the perfect 90s aesthetic, but there is a bug in the game currently where his TV just won't appear, which is too bad because it would have worked perfectly here. I really want this room to look cluttered and messy and random because that really was the essence of the 90s. We just did whatever we wanted. We didn't care if we were judged. We didn't care about aesthetics. And ironically enough, the 90s became an aesthetic. So for the rest of the room, it is a little bit random, which is the whole point. I'm putting little knickknacks in the corners. I'm also adding some neon lights, which gives it this very vibrant pinkish hue. Pink is my favorite color, so I'm kind of making this a 90s room, but based on my aesthetics a little bit. Now that I have all the furniture in place, I'm experimenting with different wallpaper again, and I found this one that's a little bit psychedelic, and I do like it. It's not exactly a 90s pattern, but I just thought it fit really well here. And I really do want this wall super cluttered with paintings and art, so I just kept adding and adding. This is one of my favorite pieces of furniture, which is the donut chair, and also this Minnie Mouse inflatable chair. Very, very 90s. I love putting things on tables, and I actually found this white desk, which I thought worked really well, and I am just putting all kinds of stuff on it. Then I'm taking a look around the room and seeing what needs adjusting. I'm basically doing lots of rearranging here to see where things fit better. This middle area with a rug, I want this to be like a hangout spot. I'm imagining the character inviting their friends over, playing some music, and just having a chat, whatever we talked about in the 90s. I was a kid, so it was mainly boys and makeup. I want this room to not only be the embodiment of the 90s, but also a typical teenage girl bedroom. I really wish I could go back to those times. It was so much simpler. No social media, no filters. Plus, I had so many Polly Pockets and Lisa Frank items, and I really, really wish I had kept them all. So this room is really coming together. I love that it looks realistic. You can really believe that this is from the 90s. This is also somewhat of a hobbyist's bedroom. There's all different kinds of hobbies here. There's a sewing section, and you have to have a guitar so you can play Wonderwall. That's like a running joke for everyone who has a guitar. I also want to give this room a very playful vibe. Someone carefree and fun lives here, so I'm putting down some toys, random candy buckets, and I really love that yellow telephone on the nightstand. That is so 90s. If only they would add a transparent telephone in this game, I would absolutely die. Some of the walls are still looking a little too empty for me, so now I'm looking for more things to put on the walls. I basically want these walls 90% covered. I am repeating a lot of the artwork here because there's just not enough unique ones to cover all the walls. But if you rearrange them a certain way, it actually looks like they're different, so that's working out for me here. Ironically enough, although I love 90s aesthetics, my house is actually very minimal. And I do like the all white kitchen, white living room thing. It just looks very clean to me. And I am a bit of a minimalist, so I don't like all this clutter actually. I'm definitely living vicariously through this game. Even my room is very pink and vibrant right now, but everything is neat as a pin. Even growing up in the 90s, my room was actually very neat. But something about decorating this and putting everything kind of haphazardly is really, really fun. It's so liberating to the soul. It makes me feel like a kid again. And I love seeing everything come together. One of my favorite things to do in this game when I decorate is to use food as decoration. I do it pretty much all the time, and I love these cookies and sandwich. They fit so perfectly in this room. Now I'm just adding all of the final touches, covering any empty spaces that I find awkward. And now this room looks like it has a ton of personality, so many different hobbies, and look at all this cool stuff. I cannot believe that even though this game is still technically in early access, it already has so much stuff. We are almost nearing the end of this build. The last minute touches are always the toughest because I never know when to stop, but I'm pretty satisfied. It looks great. And now let's do the room tour. And now we're gonna do a tour of my 90s bedroom. Starting over here, which is my favorite spot, I have a beautiful pink bed. Then on my nightstand, I found this nightstand, which is part of the Monsters Inc. package, I think. I have the cutest novelty telephone, landline, of course, and I have this funky lamp, which I thought was very 90s. We had the craziest lamp designs back then. And I have a little monster plushie. And over here is a teal radio, and teal was pretty much one of the main color schemes of the 90s. And of course the wall is just plastered with all kinds of art, posters, anything cool that I could find. And on this side I have my dressing area. I didn't have a cute closet like this, but this one is just way too cute to pass up. I had to have it in this room. By the way, how do you guys like my Lisa Frank dress? The tutorial for this is up on my channel if you want to check it out, but this is the essence of the 90s. I love this so much. And on this side, I just have a little sewing area. I didn't get into sewing till my late 20s, and I don't sew anymore, unfortunately, but I thought it would be cool to have here. I want to display many hobbies in this room, and this is my study area, so there's lots of books. Again, more things on the wall, artwork, posters, these cute little ratatouille paintings of cheese and lemons, because why not? And I actually had a desk similar to this in the 90s. This is where I did my homework, those many nights of trying to do homework with my mom, and she was just yelling at me the whole time. Oh, such wonderful childhood memories. And I actually did have a cupboard that looks very similar to this. Something about that light wood. Why was that such a thing in the 90s? And on this side, I thought I would have a little cozy corner. This isn't really super 90s, but I do love that it's pink and vibrant, and the plushies on the wall because I am a toy collector, so I thought my character here could also be a toy collector. And over here is my little painting section. I'm painting a bowl of fruit, and that's actually something you start off with in art class. I had to do it too. I thought it was just a thing on TV, but no, it happens in real life. Then over here are just more random fun things. I love this Toy Story ball. It is huge and vibrant, and it's just so cute. And this little candy corn lamp. Oh, how adorable. And we all had a rickety, ugly, loud, rusty fan in the 90s. And here's one too. And of course the vanity. You gotta have a vanity as a 90s girl with a funky chair to match. Speaking of funky chairs, look at these. These are my favorite chairs in the game. This donut chair is everything. Look how adorable it is. I had a beanbag chair, which was just this large black one, and it was actually my dad's. I never had these inflatable chairs though. I wish I did because they're so cute. If I had room in my current room, I would totally buy one. And on the ground, I just thought I'd put some fun snacks. This game really knows how to make a simple sandwich look appetizing. And you gotta have a vintage record player because we listen to a lot of CDs, but also once in a while, you just want to listen to a classic vinyl. I just love this room. I love how everything came together. I love the pink, vibrant hues and all the cute stuff that they have in the game. This room just makes me so happy. Look at me using my smartphone. This is the 90s. What are you doing? Okay, so I went to Scrooge just now and I found the coolest thing. Look at this, an old TV. I really wish they had this when I was decorating this room. But look at it, I don't even know where to put it now. I'm just gonna put it right here. And this is Stitch's TV, which would have actually been better, but it's bugged. Fix it, Gameloft. Anyway, this is the cutest. It's a little too old to be a 90s TV, but I love it. And that was my 90s inspired bedroom. It's full of so many fun items, vibrant colors, and it matches perfectly with my 90s Lisa Frank dress. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more of my Disney Dreamlight Valley designs.